Please, don't hurt me. I can't walk, she whispered, trembling in the rain as he stepped closer. But instead of anger, his voice broke with pain. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. No one knew that moment, on a cold street under the flickering streetlight, would change both their lives forever. The city of Greystone was known for its towering glass buildings, sharp suits, and colder hearts. Amid the rushing crowd of ambition, Evelyn Hart, 32, was a name people spoke with both fear and respect. She was the CEO of Hart Global Holdings, a company she built after years of ruthless struggle. Her every decision was calculated, her every word measured. But behind that polished perfection, there was pain. Evelyn hadn't always been powerful. Years ago, she was the girl no one believed in. The one who limped home from school after an accident that left her unable to walk for months. Her mother had died early, her father abandoned her, and all she ever learned was that to survive, she had to be tougher than everyone else. Now, she sat in her penthouse office late into the night, surrounded by the soft hum of rain against glass. Her assistants were gone, and the only light came from her computer screen, filled with numbers, contracts, and deadlines. But even as she stared at the success she'd built, she felt nothing but emptiness. Outside, the storm grew stronger. Evelyn took her coat and left early, or maybe just wanted to escape the silence. Her car broke down halfway home, forcing her to walk through the dim streets, heels clicking against the wet pavement. That's when it happened. A shadow moved from the alleyway. A man, tall, broad-shouldered, carrying something in his hands, stepped forward. She panicked, heart racing. Memories from her past, the night of the accident, the screams, the fear, all came rushing back. Her body froze. She stumbled and fell to the ground, her ankle twisting sharply. Please, don't hurt me. I can't walk, she begged, clutching her leg. The man froze. His face softened instantly. Hey, I'm not going to hurt you, he said, his voice deep but gentle. He knelt beside her, revealing a paper bag of groceries and a child's toy peeking from it. You're hurt. Let me help. Evelyn hesitated, watching him closely. His clothes were soaked, his hands calloused, and his eyes, warm, sincere, carrying years of quiet exhaustion. He carefully helped her up, supporting her weight with ease. There's a small clinic nearby, he said. I'll take you there. As they walked slowly, she realized how strange it felt to rely on someone. For years, no one had ever held her hand. No one had ever cared enough. Inside the clinic, he waited while the doctor wrapped her ankle. When she came out, she found him sitting quietly, holding a small girl, maybe 5 years old, who was fast asleep on his lap. Her little pink jacket was worn but clean. You have a daughter, Evelyn said softly. He nodded, smiling faintly. Yeah, her name's Clara. I'm Daniel Reed. Single dad. Just finished my shift at the construction site. Evelyn looked at him, surprised. A construction worker. He had nothing in common with her. No money, no power, no fame. Yet, there was something about his calm, patient kindness that made her chest tighten. He paid for the clinic bill before she could protest. I'll walk you home, he said simply. You don't even know who I am. I don't need to, he replied. You're someone who needed help. The next day, Evelyn couldn't stop thinking about him. She didn't know why. Maybe because no one had looked at her with that kind of quiet understanding before. She searched his name in the company's database out of curiosity and discovered something shocking. Daniel Reed used to be a civil engineer, a talented one, but after his wife died during childbirth and the company he worked for went bankrupt, he lost everything. He'd been working low-paying construction jobs just to keep a roof over his daughter's head. That night, Evelyn made a decision she couldn't explain. She found his address and visited his small apartment. The building was old, the walls cracked, and the air smelled faintly of dust. But it was home. Inside, she saw Clara coloring quietly while Daniel fixed a broken chair. Miss Hart. Daniel looked startled. What are you doing here? I came to return your kindness, she said awkwardly. You helped me last night. I'd like to offer you a job as my personal engineer. I'm launching a housing project soon, and I need someone trustworthy. He stared at her, disbelief flashing across his face. You're serious? Completely. From that day forward, their lives began to intertwine. Daniel started working at Heart Global, and his ideas soon caught attention. He wasn't polished or politically clever, but his designs were practical, brilliant, and filled with compassion. Affordable homes for single parents, shelters for the struggling, and urban renewal with heart. Evelyn watched quietly as he spoke in meetings, his voice confident but humble. She'd spent years surrounded by people who flattered her, but Daniel, he challenged her. He questioned decisions, pushed for empathy over profit, and refused to let her hide behind her walls. One evening, they stood by the window in her office, the city glowing below. "Why do you care so much about helping others?" she asked softly. He smiled. "Because I know what it's like to be ignored, to feel small. No one deserves to be left behind." Something in his words broke through her armor. For the first time, Evelyn felt seen, not as a CEO, but as a human being. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, Evelyn found herself drawn to Clara too. The little girl would run into her office with drawings, calling her Miss Evie. She brought light into a place that had always been cold. Evelyn began to laugh again, really laugh, something she hadn't done in years. But peace doesn't come easily. One morning, Evelyn's board of directors confronted her. They accused Daniel of favoritism, of being unqualified, of dragging the company's image down. Her right-hand executive, Martin Vale, even threatened to resign. "Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment," he said coldly. "You're risking everything for a man like him." For a moment, Evelyn wavered. Old fears crept back. Fear of weakness, of failure, of losing control. But then she remembered Daniel's words. No one deserves to be left behind. She stood tall and said firmly, "If believing in someone's potential is a mistake, then I'll take the risk. Because this company was built by people like Daniel, not by pride." That night, she found Daniel at the site, working late under the glow of construction lamps. He turned when he saw her. "I heard what happened," he said quietly. "You didn't have to stand up for me." "Yes, I did," she replied. "You reminded me what it means to care." I'd forgotten that. They stood there for a long moment, rain falling lightly, city lights flickering behind them. "Evelyn," he said finally, voice trembling. "You don't have to do everything alone." She looked up, tears glimmering. "I've been alone for so long. I don't know how not to be." "Then let me remind you." Months passed. The project launched successfully, the Heart Homes Initiative, providing affordable, safe housing to struggling families. Media praised Evelyn for her vision, but she knew it was Daniel who'd given it a soul. One evening, she visited their finished housing site, colorful buildings surrounded by laughter and children playing. Clara ran toward her, hugging her tightly. "Miss Evie, Daddy said this place is for people who need a home. You made a lot of people happy." Evelyn smiled through tears. For the first time, she felt whole. As the sun dipped behind the horizon, Daniel walked up beside her. "Funny," he said softly. "I thought I was saving you that night. But I think you were saving me." She turned to him. "Maybe we saved each other." And there, amidst the sound of laughter and life, the woman who once begged not to be hurt, finally found healing, not in power, but in kindness. The story that began with fear ended with faith. "Please, don't hurt me. I can't walk," she had once said in terror. But now, standing beside Daniel and Clara, Evelyn whispered with a smile, "I can walk again, not because my legs healed, but because my heart finally did." Kindness has the power to rebuild what life has broken. Sometimes, the people who seem the strongest are the ones who need saving the most, and sometimes, salvation comes from those who have lost everything but love.